What makes pay-per lead an undeniable force of nature in terms of scalability is not only the fact that you do not have any client meetings, because these corporate businesses, they don't want to talk to you. They're gonna give you a report, tell you if you've made the money or not, and then you're gonna repeat sending them leads, right? So guys, it's not that difficult to produce results if you know the systems behind it. The difficult part is usually finding good buyers that actually have the capacity to convert those leads. Now, specifically, what I mean by that, right, is let's say you have a corporate pay-per-lead client and he is juiced up, 100 people call center, right? And then you have another corporate client as well, juiced up, 100% call center. Now, the difference between those two is one has very motivated employees that, go straight 2 seconds, they call, happy tonality, oh, what's up, enthusiastic on the call. They have good salespeople. Business B, okay, they call after 2 hours, okay, their salespeople look like they want to jump off a roof because they work at 9 to 5. Okay, there's gonna be a significant difference. The same lead, right, and buyer A will convert way more of those leads because they have better sales infrastructure in place. They follow up sooner, which is the highest lever you can pull in pay-per-lead, is your speed to lead, right? As well, if you do not follow up soon, you're cooked. So it's very important to also review the call transcriptions if they're available, how your leads are getting converted and how fast they're getting picked up upon in terms of speed to lead. And buyer B is something you need to basically avoid. But how you're able to do that is you need to try out a bunch of buyers, right? And then you just filter out the bad ones and keep the good ones. And that's essentially an art to be mastered in pay-per-lead, because it is a lot of trial and error, and a lot of businesses you won't know until you've tried with them. But what you can do to minimize error and waste a bunch of time is to go to smaller pay-per-lead clients. That's the biggest mistake, because they haven't scaled to 10 million in revenue per year, so they do not have a proven sales infrastructure, right? A lot of these corporate clients you work with that have at least 10 million in revenue, they've already scaled to a point where they need a sales infrastructure. It's a necessity, or they would not have reached that point at all. So for that reason, those bigger clients are less of a headache to deal with. You send them more leads, more data, and they will convert them. Most of them, right? Some have some issues as well. But the single biggest mistake you could make in pay-per-lead is not work with larger clients. And you might think, okay, they might take longer to close, and yes, that is the case. Sometimes you need to go over with their legal team and sort of contractual things, as well as work out the logistics, and that's normal. But it's gonna save you so much headache down the line, and the math just works out to be 100 times better than local businesses, as well as corporates, smaller corporates, that do not have 10 million in revenue at least. Because what that means is that you are gonna have a lot of touch points, right? The systems that they've built up is not as efficient as it should be, right? Because 10 million revenue is the sweet spot of most pay-per-lead businesses, and it's just nice. It's crisp, and it's not harder to close these clients because they have more budget, so they care less psychologically. And it's all about how you present yourself on the sales call to make it seem like you've done it a million times, and now you already have assumed the close on the sales call, and all you're doing is getting the logistics, right? In pay-per-lead, calls shouldn't be okay, I'm trying to convince you to send leads. No, the call should be hey, right, how do we work this out to send you leads? Or should I take you as a client? Do you have the sales infrastructure to convert my leads? It should be other way around. They should convince you that they have the sales infrastructure to take on your leads. And that is really the dynamics in pay-per-lead that differentiates yourself from retainer or these like local business owners who treat you like employees, who don't know how to open a Facebook ads manager, who like I legit really needed to search up like software to streamline the process of basically, you know, like, so my client didn't need to set up Facebook. It's ridiculous. And what's really important is also the mindset shift, because I know I'm just a Chinese, you know, 7-figure pay-per-lead agency owner, a bit autistic, talking on the internet. But what's really interesting is that once you start getting your first few clients, you will understand how retarded and how much existing potential you've been wasting by not following this business model. It's not even a change of business model. It's utilizing the underlying skill set that you already have in media buying, as well as, you know, like building systems, backend, and then just layering on top of another higher paying clientele that has less problems, and your scope of delivery just shrinks as well, because you go from delivering follow-up systems, building sales infrastructure, you know, figuring out sales, closing people, selling appointments, selling clients, to just delivering meta leads. And if you know Google or YouTube or Reddit or Snapchat or any of these advertising platforms, then you have undeniable advantage. If you're a creative person, right, with a lot of like creativity to make ads, then you have an undeniable advantage, because that's all it takes. Oh my god, like, I've been holding this camera for some time, you know, showing you guys this like amazing fucking background. Like, check it out, it's just so sexy. Bangkok in its fullest. And I'm doing my best to scale the business, but also not, you know, get distracted from all this beauty, because in Bangkok you can actually do anything that you could ever want to do. It's pretty crazy city. And if some of you guys are here, please hit me up, because I would love to talk to you. Anyways guys, if you have any questions, ask me. And if you want more in-depth support one-on-one, also DM me on Instagram or Telegram. Cheers.